ladies meeting men though. Pass me the hookah on this one.
Listen, baby,
because I gotta know, recently, I went back on Tinder. Everyone laughs, I can't believe I'm on Tinder.
You are on Tinder, like, loyal.
I quit it all the time. But, like, the thing is, okay, so I'm from the small city of Baltimore, Maryland. And I feel like I know everybody. If you live here, like, in a smaller city, everybody knows everybody. So it's like, if you dated one person, it's like they know people. And it's like, I want to kind of meet different people outside of Baltimore. And I feel like I always say this, like, one of my best boyfriends I ever had was from New York. He just treated me different than Baltimore men. So it's like, I want to try to, I've dated some DC guys. Don't come for me. I feel like they're a little like cool, metrosexual. They're a little too, it's the PG County guys. DC guys are cool, actually. It's the PG County guys.
Like the guys that wear the pants that are like showing the ankle.
Yes. With the loafers.
I know.
And the fedora.
Because it's like, as a woman, like, I would wear that. So I don't want you to wear what I would wear. It's not
I think there's a right way to do it.
Yeah, it's not a homosexual thing. It's just
some of them when your pants are tighter than mine, it's like I don't know. So I want to try to meet guys outside of my city, so that's why I try it. And I feel like I get a lot of guys that approach me on Instagram.
Which do you like more?
What?
The guys that approach you that are more familiar, like within your city, or do you prefer the unfamiliar because it's more of like an adventure?
I'm open to both. It just depends about my type. There's a couple guys I dated that are from Baltimore and they're like my type.
Yeah.
Like I always say I like that like manly man.
I ain't gonna lie.
But that's the one thing. All the guys get on my nerves. They know. All the Baltimore guys I've ever dated, a lot of them I know I'm good with them. Like they're gonna protect me. Some of those like PG County guys, I felt like it was like a competition, like who's the prettier.
Yeah.
But once you've dated somebody from up north, and people are gonna say, I'm just saying in my experience. So I'm not coming from you.
About like
Philly. No. Philly, New York, New Jersey. It's a different type of man. They're like real manly. Yeah. They like to date up there. Like they're more into dating. They're more into like, I got you. I blame Baltimore women because their expectations and their standards are very low here. It's like, oh, you got a job. Oh, you're so sexy.
It's like, oh my God, you're not on Section 8 and you haven't been on Section 8 for 5 years. I want you. And it's like, bruh, like what?
I just want you to be what I have, but then it's like, wait a minute. I want somebody, I'm tired of always teaching men everything. I want somebody who can teach me. And that's why a lot of like up north guys, they're a little bit different. I just feel like they're more like, I got you, you know, ma. Like, how you doing?
So like, I got this question because this is part 2. And I feel like now that I gotten to know you, Bad Influence, Tina, like...
Bitch, we've been shooting in the gym, but go ahead.
We've been born in this shit. But like, okay, so as a like alpha female, which some men believe there is no such thing. Some
there's definitely an alpha female.
Definitely a fucking
Let's cheers to, can we cheer to the alpha females in the room?
Can we cheers to the alpha females? But like, do you feel like as an alpha female, it's more difficult to date? And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yes.
Because anything else,
you need an alpha man. I want nice guys. I do. I want a nice guy, but I feel like
nice girl, right?
But then at the same time, I need a nice guy who's not gonna tolerate all my shit, but hold me on a pedestal and treat me well. It's like I need a guy who's gonna be like, Tina, you tripping. But not in a disrespectful way, but just
don't make it a bigger problem if I'm already the problem.
Yeah.
Right.
So I guess going back to the online dating thing. So like I did Tinder before. I never really had like any success with it, but it's like I'm trying it again. I'm trying to be open to dating. I was like in a situationship last year. Into
how did the ship sail?
Into March.
No, I was gonna say, how did the ship sail? Did you board or did you dock? Like,
I took the anchor out of the ocean and sent him on his way. How you doing?
Oh my gosh! Arrivederci.
Right. You know, and that was right before like COVID. So it's like, now it's like, where do you go to meet guys? Because it's not like, I might do the outdoor bar situation, but I'm not really like ready to go to the club. Like, you know, or ready. And I feel like you don't really meet guys when you go out. When I go out, guys don't even come up to me. They'll like come in my inbox and be like, I think I saw you at the club. I'd be like, really? What other tall Persian bitch did you like?
You know
why
so
couldn't you say, I don't know, to me, I like a man that's not intimidated by me. I like a man that just comes up and is like, I gotta have you.
Right.
And that's why I go with like a lot of up north guys. They're not, a lot of older guys too. They're not scared of you. They don't care.
But you gotta think about your environment. Look where you are. Look where you're going. You the only Persian bitch out here. In New York and Philly, is other bitches that look like you out there, so they not gonna be as intimidating.
But I don't think it's even.
She's right.
She's right. But still, like.
but the thing about it is, like, what she's saying is, like, basically, it's like, listen, it's like, I have a preference. It's not crazy. It's not out of this world. Why the fuck can't I find it here?
Right.
I want a man.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
want a
Like,
grown man.
right.
Some man asked me what I'm looking for. I said a grown ass man. Why is that hard? I need a grown.
Okay. So let me be honest, ladies. Let me be honest. Okay, so although this is single ladies talk, I am on the verge of not being single.
Oh shit.
Oh,
And
somebody got wiped up and shit. When I'm like, whoa.
I mean, listen. All I
Maybe
can
we
say
need
is
to change the title of this show.
no. All I gotta say is it could be a cold summer quick. But
Cold
anyway,
summer quick.
all I gotta say is like there is to me definitely a thing called the right time and the right place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm saying that to say where it's like, as a bitch, mind you, I'm, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm in my toddler 30s, but like
Toddler 30s.
as a bitch that like literally went through
Mykena.
probably every type of like typical like black scenario besides domestic abuse, thank God. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally felt like I lived that shit. So like in my mind, I'm not here to take the whole, you know, like aggressive woman, independent woman, and take that stereotype out of context. And I'm also not here to take that, you know, stereotype of it's like, okay, damn, I done had 5 niggas and they didn't do the shit that I needed them to do. So okay, you know what I mean? All niggas ain't shit. I'm not either of those women, right? But I feel like where we are now is we're at the point where it's like the biggest issue I feel is communication.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and it's because like from my 20s to my 30s, it's been communication. In my 20s, it was communication because niggas, it's been communication because even if you don't know what you want, you don't know how to tell somebody that.
Yeah.
In my 30s, you're like,
I was scared in my 20s.
I was
scared. I was like, I don't want to sound like a bitch.
Girl,
like,
scared. But like men think
now
that.
it's like, I don't have time. You gonna take me as I am. I'm willing to meet you halfway, but we gotta work together.
But men take that and that's where they get intimidated by us. And that's where we have to now have a buffer of who we are, even though we're so dominant.
Yeah.
And it's like, my dominance should not like negatively affect you.
Can
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Can we?
if anything, my dominance should be a compliment to the type of man that you are.
But
so
that's
what I'm
a
saying
weak
is,
man that can't get
so
with
what
that.
I'm saying is, like I said, I'm a firm believer in the right time and the right place. And like I said, as a hopefully potentially single or a non-single female in the future.
She left us shooting in the gym, Mykena.
No, but I'm
We
trying to
should
say it. I'm
manage
trying to say it.
that.
I'm trying to say it. I'm trying to tell you. I'm
It's
trying to
not
tell you,
right.
ladies. The men,
We ain't haters.
The men that we have experienced are not the men that are of our future. And I want all single ladies to put that in their minds because as a woman who has kept baggage, kept fucking grudges, kept anger and all kinds of shit from past relationships.
Yeah.
As like, because even if I didn't even want that in my spirit, it carried over to some other relationships in the future. So what I'm saying to you is, as women that are conscious enough to know the better part of what you want and what you deserve, I'm saying that to say that sometimes it's literally not about going on online dating. It's not about how many baby mamas he has. It's not about us being single. Sometimes it's literally the divine appointment. Like sometimes it's literally like God's like, and right now. Like and I'm saying that to say like I'm being dead ass serious.
But it took you to get older to realize
but
this.
I feel like I needed to go
and the
on
experiences
Tinder dates. I
and
needed
the
to
bad
do Facebook
experiences.
dating. I needed to have the fuckboys. I needed to have the guy that really, really
I
loved
think,
me that I shitted on. Like, and I'm being vocal
speaking
with
of
all of that.
fuckboy.
So.
No caller ID.
I wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't gonna say that. right.
So let me ask y'all 2 quick questions.
Go ahead.
Since y'all all more experienced than I am. In your 20s, just quick questions. In your 20s, what was your point of dating? Like, what were you trying to get to as far as dating? Like, what were your intentions?
My goal
versus
has
now
always been marriage.
Okay, same.
You know, I actually was engaged before. You know, in my in my last lifetime. So I was in a really unhealthy relationship in my 20s, and I settled. And I was very unhappy. I didn't love the person, but I was in a relationship and thought I should settle down because that's what society told me I should do. Mm-hmm. I put my dreams on hold. I put my goals on hold. Everything about me I put on hold for this other person, and they literally sucked the life out of me. This is real shit. And it was a very unhealthy relationship. So my best advice to single women is to never settle. It's not love when somebody doesn't make you feel good about yourself. If you've ever been like, I was in a relationship, but I was more lonely in that relationship than I was single. If that makes sense. It's like, that's the worst feeling. Like, people are like, oh, aren't you lonely when you're single? Not when you're confident and you love this person right here.
And there's a big difference with that. Like, there's a big difference between being in a relationship where you don't have the confidence, so the person that you're dating feels that void. So you're not even consciously aware.
That was me in my 20s because it stems, you know, dad wasn't around. I've been through a lot of, like, abuse in my life younger. And in my 20s, and it's like I tried to fill that void. I was a different bitch. Now it's like I love this little bitch right here, this big bitch. But I think it's an important lesson, especially to women, even teenagers, women in their 20s. And not to get so preachy, but I've literally been through everything bad that can, I swear, happen to a woman. And it made me stronger. It made me love this person more, and never settle. Don't settle for bullshit. Like, being single isn't the worst thing. I think being in a relationship and being unhappy. I know men who do it too. I have homeboys who are so unhappy in the relationship. I'm like, why do you say, well, the kids pick up on that shit.
Yeah.
They definitely pick up on that.
I know exactly what I want to say to the ladies on some ending note shit. I want to say this, ladies. There's going to be a few times from your early teens to your 30s where the man that you think is the one for you is not for you. And what I want to say to that is there comes a moment in time where you have the realization as to what you're lacking as an individual woman to get the man you deserve.
Can we snap? Do they still do that? They snap.
Listen, okay? Like, let me say that again. You yourself have a full understanding, comprehension to what you want. The difference is you're not executing.
Powerful.
And that's the thing.
Powerful.
Because in your 20s, I'm like, this is coming from experience, because like there's some women that in their 20s they get it early and they got it, and they're engaged, they're married.
I literally had to go through everything to learn it the hard way.
Right.
And that's what I like. If I can spare some women, I want to spare you, because the bitch was shooting in the gym alone and she had to learn it the hard way.
She was like, boo, boo, boo.
What I do, miss.
Shat.
But you know, it builds character and it teaches you. In a way, I'm kind of thankful for the struggle, even though it's still. I'm not. It hardened me in some ways, and I'm still. Look, I tell her I deal with commitment issues. I deal with love issues because I've just been through so much.
Because you've already committed.
Because
so
I've been.
You know what it's like to commit and to be loyal.
Right.
The difference
but I'm
is
still trying.
It's always the longevity.
It's always to be a work in progress.
Which is what our women want. We want the longevity.
Yeah, and definitely, I mean, don't settle for shit. Don't settle for not having an orgasm either.
Do not settle.
Okay, let's talk to my baby 20 over here. What are your final thoughts, baby 20s?
I honestly piggyback on what both y'all said. Do not settle. My mom always told me you will not love the same person you like from high school to your late 20s. You grow. You don't like that same person.
Don't you think that's weird? People who've been together with the same person since high school.
They're not going to be happy. You're not. You grow apart. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not even trying to be funny, but I feel like the people that have been with their sweethearts, like, from high school until, like, their 30s, typically they're white. Typically, their husband's gay.
I have a black friend.
That's fine.
Who's like that.
That's fine. And that's typically, keyword, typically they're white.
But I really think they're soulmates. They just,
no. So there's the, this is, and I'm speaking of, okay, beyond the whole perfect,
I believe you.
Perfect family picture.
Yeah.
Beyond the perfect family picture where it's like, oh my God, they were so compatible. They had great kids. The kids grew up and, were, honor roll students. Beyond that story, which we all know is a great story. I feel like in 2020 with the way that life has been,
I feel like you gotta experience some of the bad to know what you like, and that's what I told my one friend. She literally slept with 2 guys her whole life. I said, bitch, how do you know what you like?
Look, that weird guy that just so happens to like be in vibe with you, and then so you just automatically assume that's the guy you're supposed to be with, and then 30 years later you're like, I want to maybe 30 years later you actually get the divorce, but 15 years before the 30 years you wanted to get divorced. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so all I'm saying is, ladies, like I said, my overall thing is, bottom line, ladies, you really need to put yourself first, because putting yourself first means you put your kids first. Putting yourself first means you put your kids first, which means you put your husband first. It's like, it's just a hierarchy of priorities. And I feel like, especially with you yourself, and you have a 7-year-old and you have a child, and you feel like you've already kind of gauged how that child has interacted with some of your, potentials or just dick appointments. And it's like, yo, take advantage of the innocence that your son has, because he has a buffer that you don't have anymore.
Yeah.
So I would say take that into stride with your current relationship, with whichever one is the predominant one that takes over. Whichever. But use that as your guide. I feel like, ladies, we don't take our own experiences and use them as our guides. We're so focused on what all of our other bitches are doing. You know what I'm saying?
Happiness comes from within, and don't think whether you're 30 or 40 or 50 years old and you're single, that might be right for you at that time. Like I said, love this person first.
Fool you.
Love yourself first. Work on yourself. It's okay. It's all right. Sometimes you got to be single to figure out what you like. That's true. And before to find the right guy,
Like you said, I'd rather be single than in a relationship.
Be single. Like I said, I was in that relationship lonely and unhappy, and I'll never do it again. But I can't believe we're out of time. I love this.
Like, damn, is this part 2?
That's right. We're going to have to do a 3 and 4.
Never ends.
It's so much literally we can talk to, but I think
my drink is gone, so okay, I guess
I like bitches to get lit, bring them in lingerie. But I appreciate you both coming through. Definitely holding it down for the women. Again, let everybody know where they can find you on IG.
Definitely. Go ahead, Velma.
My Instagram is bad_influence.
She's a bad influence.
But she'll move you in the right direction. Okay, and the queen always wears her crown. You can follow me at QueenBDMV. That's on everything. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that. So make sure you follow me.
And you know where to find me. This is Spilling Tea with Tina, and we always gonna be spilling the tea. I have a little popping or whatever on the IG.
The tea is spilled.
It's spilled. It's gone. Till next time, holding it down for the single bitches. Single Girl Chronicles on Spilling Tea with Tina. Cheers. Cheers. We gotta freshen up our drinks, and we're gonna teach Mykena what an orgasm is.
I love that one.